All right, welcome all to Hit or Miss. I'm Night Strike. We're not gonna have a Smeggy intro this evening because I think Smeggy is MIA. He's probably working or something up there in Greer or something, or he's back in Detroit. I don't know where Smeggy is. Smeggy is a non-corporeal snowman that comes and goes.
You Smeggy.
He's Smeggy.
Smeggy in action.
So I got a couple people here tonight. I got more invites out. Whether they jump in or not, who knows? So the first panelist we have tonight is Psycho Camp. Say hello, Psycho Camp.
Hello, Psycho Camp. Waiting for that one, right?
Yeah, I've been waiting for that one forever.
I'm going to switch to my upstairs big computer so I can put my EDC guns on the table. So
okay, glad
I'll
to
be
hear
with
it.
you till then.
All right. Next we have Jelsma Outdoors. What's going on, Jelsma?
Hey man, just hanging out at the house like usual.
Yeah. Yep. Then we have Triple D. What's going on, Triple D?
It's not Triple D anymore. You didn't see my video?
I didn't. I don't keep on top of these things. Come on.
I wondered how much confusion I was going to cause when I did that.
Remember, it's your responsibility to watch every upload of every person on Gun Channels.
That's right. I can't believe it.
It is not my responsibility, especially when
Triple D
I'm
is
starting to
rebranded.
miss. As I'm cleaning the 1911, I'm taking tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Triple D is rebranding Night Strike to Sandhills Shooter. I'm trying to differentiate from my VJ business and keep my YouTube stuff separate. So I've changed the name of it. So now I'm Sandhills Shooter.
Okay, he's now Sandhill Shooter, guys. So remember, if you want to yell at him, go for it. I won't stop you.
Rich White has told me on some of the other chats that he's just going to call me something different, and I don't care. I don't care what anybody calls me. Just don't call me late for supper.
Yeah. Right now I'm cleaning my 1911, so we're gonna continue on. We've got last but certainly not least, we got everyone's favorite Travi, Travis P11.
Calm down. Really, you're too kind. All right, guys. Hey, this is Travis P11. Shameless plug. Check out my Saturday morning podcast called The Caliber Corner. It's over there on gunchannels.com, and my channel on YouTube is Travis P11. Check it out.
Remember to check him out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Always.
Yep.
Bid me.
You can also check him out on BidMe. And
Yep.
I hear he's starting his own subreddit too. So he will be on Reddit.
Yes, whatever that means. Yes. No, I'm kidding. I do have a Reddit account, but it's just mainly I don't know why I do. I think everybody else does, but yeah.
So all right, so we got a couple things to talk about tonight. I don't know what order we're going to talk about them in. Maybe the order that I've got it listed in the title. I don't know. I haven't decided. We haven't even gotten that far yet. But what's on the agenda first? You know what? Why don't we talk about CCW calendars? Because me and Jelsma got into a heated discussion on one of his videos about a nifty little 22 long rifle or handgun called the Sig Mosquito, and Travis finish. And
it's because I watch his videos, Night Strike.
Yeah, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And we got into the whole topic of just carry calibers. So, Jelsma, what do we figure out?
Well, I wouldn't say it was heated. It was definitely a friendly debate. But I'm 100% in agreement. The reason I did the video to begin with is to bring up the question, right? But we pretty much ended up with, like, if you're going to carry sub 380, you might want to second guess on what your life plans actually are.
Life plans doesn't even begin with it. I'd watch out. I wouldn't carry it. 380 is good, but the thing is, there's a lot of people, and I mean primarily a lot of women that start buying firearms for the first time in my area, and a majority of them go for the 22 long rifle pistols instead of going with the like a 380 or 9mm. I can only assume that's because they just want they just want something that's cheap and affordable to shoot and whatnot. But I wouldn't necessarily trust my life to 22.
A big part of it could just be the whole recoil thing. Maybe they're fearing recoil because they haven't shot a lot or gotten used to it. And that's true for anybody. Whenever I take my friends out shooting, especially if they don't do a lot of shooting or if any at all, one of the first questions they're going to ask me, is it going to kick? Is it have a lot of recoil? How's the recoil? So if somebody's coming in a gun store and they're looking for a gun and they really are afraid of recoil, you say, well, why don't you try this 22 over here? It'll get the job done, which really you're doing that person a disservice by pushing it on them. But
don't ever push anything on someone.
Well, if you're the one telling us that you see that's sub 380 calibers are pushed a lot on the female crowd, a lot of it could just be because of the recoil. They're thinking that they're gonna, although that's gonna be the last thing on their mind if you have to draw and shoot.
Right. If you're getting a carry gun for self-defense, it shouldn't matter what caliber it's in. What should matter is how easily concealable it is. And in my book, now granted, somebody might have a different of opinion, but that's how I see it. But again, I would not trust my life to anything lower than 380. And some people are really brave trying to trust their life to a 22.
Go ahead.
I think there's another factor here that you haven't really talked about at all, and that is that it's not just recoil, it's also your ability to manage the gun, to load it properly, to rack it properly. And a lot of those small guns are pretty tough on people that don't have a lot of hand strength as far as trying to rack the slide on one of those suckers.
And that's also true.
Now,
I was gonna say, Gelsman and I've shot the Sig Sauer Mosquito, and it has one of the lightest recoil springs you will ever charge on a firearm. I mean, it's a child could honestly charge that thing. I mean, I could see why that gun that you had pointed out, that particular model, because it is easy to rack the slide on it. I mean, it's not, but little 22s can be complicated. Yeah.
I just want to throw out there, though, in the whole argument of calibers and things like that, 22, I can agree it's not ideal. There we are.
Okay.
22 may not be ideal, but if it's defend my life, if I got to choose between a 22 and a pointy stick, give me that 22, and I'll put a bunch of little holes in somebody and hope that it helps before they get down to my pointy stick.
Absolutely.
So it's better than nothing, but it's not what I want if I get to choose.
Right.
One thing I would like to know is when this whole caliber wars actually started with carry guns, because if you look in the early 1900s all the way till the 1930s and 40s, 25s, 32s, and 380s were the most popular carry guns in the United States. Everybody in their grandma had a 25 Colt vest pocket, and the 25 is still very capable of killing a human being. I mean, it's still very capable of that. Now, with modern day ammunitions, do you think it would be something that's even more capable, or are we still looking at the thing as like, well, 380 is the way to go because bullet weight and velocity and all these other factors? It's like, well, when it comes down to it, I think we're all right in our own opinions, but it is better to have a gun when you need a gun than, like Sandhill said, a pointy stick.
Oh, I'm not arguing on that. I just don't think that that you should trust your life with a 22. I believe you really should go with something like a 380 or 9mm at least. I mean.
Right. I think 22 is definitely, especially any rim fire or any rimmed cartridge in an auto to begin with, especially 22 long rifle, not the way to go. Absolutely wrong. The reliability is just not there. You could even see in one of my videos that I did today where I was doing the Patreon challenge from Ghost Tactical, I'm using the highest dollar 22 LR that you're supposed to run in that gun to make it function, and it didn't function all that well at all. So it's definitely a reliability issue when it comes to 22.
Which what ammo were you using? I haven't had a chance to check that video out yet. Were you using CCI mini mags or what?
Yeah, CCI mini mag, the copper plated 40 grain.
Have you tried the stingers in it? CCI
Stingers. So yeah, the stingers are too. The bullets are too light.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have the spring kit for it. That's the reason why I run the 40 grainers.
Gotcha. I mean, I don't think that any of us here would doubt that 7 or 8 rounds of 22 center mass on somebody or stay right in the face isn't going to deter them just a little bit. If you had to draw and pull that as a backup, deep cover backup gun, but yeah, I think you're going to want to definitely go at least 380, if not higher.
Yeah.
Well, I think it also depends on what your ultimate goal is too. Are you ultimately looking to kill somebody, or are you ultimately looking to deter somebody? Because anybody who tells me that 22 isn't going to hurt anybody, I would like to see them let me shoot them, and then they can tell me whether or not it hurts. Because it's still, and 22s tumble.
Well, you're still gonna do muscle damage and tissue damage and nerve damage.
You're gonna still damage the person, and if it gets them to stop their attack, then mission accomplished. Even if you haven't put them, in the morgue, or even put them, immediately into the ER or whatever, that's not necessarily what we're going for. At least in Nebraska, I can't speak for everybody, but at least in Nebraska, if I have to use my gun and then I get an opening to escape and I don't take it, then I'm in trouble.
That's on you.
So, it is, but what I'm saying is it's something that has to be, we have to decide, are we trying to put somebody down or just trying to eliminate the threat?
Right.
Well, I still think that go ahead, Cycle Camp, sorry.
A lot of times, unfortunately, the two things are synonymous.
That's true.
You don't eliminate the threat until whoever it is down.
Well, if we look at it as in terms of reliability, and I'm not talking like feeding or shooting or the rounds actually going off when the primer gets struck, reliability of actually negating a target to 0. Okay, so let's start at the very top. You have 44 Magnum. We have no question that 44 Magnum can stop a person pretty easily center mass with a single shot. So now we go back all the way down to the bottom of the scale, 22 LR. What's the reliability of a single shot actually stopping somebody? Because in a realistic situation, you may only get one trigger pull. Right. So the smaller you go, the less reliable it is as a piece of protection. Now, if you want to have a gun to make you feel safe, and you're probably never going to ever use it, and you don't ever plan on using it, but it's your whoopee, your blanket, then buy whatever you want to buy. But if you're actually concerned with protecting your life, do a little bit of research and see that realistically 380 is the very bottom of the barrel, because there's a very slim chance that you might not actually walk away after a single trigger pull with shooting 380.
Right.
9mm as well too, and I carry a 9mm, okay, and I carry a 380 too. So it's like I'm kind of at the bottom of the barrel, but then again I'm looking at size.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just I personally, I'm taking my carry course tomorrow, and I'm cleaning my 1911 as we're talking. But the thing is, if I'm going to protect myself with something, I'm going to protect myself with what I feel comfortable with. And I feel comfortable with 45 caliber because I like 45 ACP. I have a 1911. Granted, I may not use this full size to carry. I may go and get like a Titan or like a Commander size, which is more easily concealable, but I'm still going to use 45 because I feel that caliber is enough for me. But there are some people that feel that, 45 isn't enough. We need 10 millimeter or we need a, caliber like, I hate to use this as an example, but some people even think 44 auto mag is what they need to go and protect themselves with.
And and that's you are exactly 100% correct in that philosophy. I mean, the nail just got hit right on the head. So the comfort factor in your ability to handle the firearm is what judges what you should actually be able to carry, or the determined size or concealability. If you work in an office environment and you're not allowed to carry, you might want to carry something teeny tiny that's easily deep concealed just in case, because it's not worth losing your job over, but it's sure the hell ain't worth losing your life over either.
No, it's not.
I would be willing to conjecture that if you talk to most of these people that talk about those big ass calibers, if you were to stop them on the street and say, what do you got in your pocket right now? More than likely they would say nothing, because those big ass calibers are hard to conceal, they're hard to carry. And we all agree. I mean, if you had the ultimate carry gun, it would be a rifle.
Absolutely.
Because that's the only thing is going to get the job done every time, first time.
So is Night Strike going to do a concealed carry Liberator because he likes 45?
That's what I heard, yeah.
No, Night Strike is going to try and conceal carry a 1911.
And Pants made a comment a couple of minutes ago on the gun channels about no excuse to carry a 380 because 9mm are plenty small enough. Well, look at my table. Which of these guns is not like the other?
The revolver.
You tell me which one is the 380. And I guarantee you're gonna look at the smallest gun on the table and say, yeah, that's a 380. So yeah, they're similar in size, but I have two very small 9mm as well on the table, and they are not smaller than a 380. There ain't nothing like a 380 when you have to deep conceal, like in a pocket.
Right. Oh, no one. We're not arguing with you, Psycho Camp. Yeah. It's just the topic that me and Gels were on, and I feel strongly enough that 380 is about the smallest you should go. I'm not saying that you 38 special is not a great round. So I agree. If you want to carry 38 special, go for it. It's I would say it's on par with the 380 in my opinion, but it's more for if you want to carry a revolver.
Yeah, 38 special is a lot hotter than a 380. It's got a lot more carrying power. Right,
but the size of the bullet is similar in size.
The bullet size is going to be very similar, but look at the width of a revolver versus the width of a tiny 380.
Exactly. I mean, you can just as easily conceal a revolver as you would, a small little handgun.
Yeah, this is not a small handgun, so a small revolver, so it probably doesn't count.
No, I'm sure you've got smaller ones, or you've got more concealable ones too. But it's a good example. Yeah. It's a good example, nonetheless.
Yeah, so, that's why I brought them out here, because they're all, fairly representative.
Right. So, but that's the conversation we were having, and I enjoyed the conversation. But I figured it'd be a good topic to talk about tonight.
No, it's a great topic because there are so many people out there who are still buying 22s for self-protection. and I know a handful of them, and it's like, if it just makes you sleep better at night, then go ahead. But when you take your own life in your hands, that's basically what you're doing by using something that's not adequate enough with its reliability to stop a threat.
And anyone out there listening, or in the future, if you do carry a 22, we're not saying that you should drop everything and go and get something larger. We're just giving our opinions, and our opinions only. My opinion, I would prefer you carry something larger, but you don't have to. If you're already carrying a 22 and you feel completely safe with it, go for it. But again, I don't feel safe with anything, smaller than 380.
Yep, I agree. If you're carrying anything, you're already doing better than 97% of the population.
Exactly.
So good on you that you're carrying something. I just wish that Beretta would have made the 21A or the whatever the 32 version of that was in a 380. I think that would be the ultimate small handgun for someone who has weaker hands, where they have that pop open chamber at the end. So after you stick the magazine in, all you do is pop the barrel up, stick one in it, and it's loaded. You don't have to rack it at all. I love that thing.
It's funny you should mention that. In this same conversation, me and Jelsma were talking about calibers smaller than 380, and we got on the topic of 25 and what was it, 32?
32.
ACP?
Yeah, they make one in 32. The Beretta makes it in a 22 and a 32.
Here's the thing about 32 ACP and 25 ACP. I believe Taurus still makes small concealable pistols in those calibers. Or they made them at one point, but they're still listed as products on their website.
Yeah, so, they still make them.
But the thing is,
and that's
they're good. They're a good caliber. I don't mind them, but I would like something with a bit more oomph, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 32 is pretty small.
32 is pretty small.
That brings up Tokarev. If you're going to shoot a small diameter bullet that's going to be in the 30 caliber range, 7.65 Tokarev is what you want to shoot if you want to shoot a 32 caliber bullet.
7.62 by 25.
Yeah, 7.62 by 20. That's what it is.
Yep. Oh, I love those. Them are great guns. But unfortunately, the guns that shoot them are all fully metal and weigh like 1.5 pounds. And
right. And that's the thing with a lot of these subcalibers like 25, 32, and 380 is they're really low pressure. But realistically, 45 ACP is a really low pressure cartridge as well. So I mean, there's no reason that you couldn't have a small 45 ACP. Just run a lighter bullet, and I think you'd be okay.
Yeah. Now, and I agree with the comment that Mel the Nut made, or not Mel the Nut, RL Sur about 22 is absolutely an inferior cartridge to 25 because at least 25 is a center fire and is more reliable inherently.
Exactly.
From a cartridge point of view.
From a cartridge point of view,
when it comes out of...
But again, while some manufacturers still make firearms in 25 and 32 ACP, the issue is a lot of the firearms that are out there aren't made anymore. They're just left over from
bygone era.
So I kind of look at it this way: that if you have a handgun or even a concealable handgun in 25 or 32, they're literally C and Arsenal antiques anyways. And they're something you want to take to the range and use to have fun with, but not something you may want to depend your life on, because back in the old days when they made those, not all of them were made up to top-notch quality. Some of them were made using pot metal, and the parts are hard to find now.
Yeah, that's very true. But those little 25s and those 32s, even the little Saturday night special revolvers that are in those calibers of 25 and 32, those would be something great to load up and leave in some of those concealable bookshelves and something small like that because of their size.
Right.
But other than size in the modern ammunition today and modern guns, the 380s of today, like an LCP, is the same size as a Colt Vest Pocket 25. So there's no reason to carry that 25 when you could carry a 380 and have even a cheaper, a more reliable, and probably a better quality pistol.
Yeah, the guns I have on the table, these are my home defense and carry guns, and the smallest I ever go is the 380, and you can see this 380. I do not have huge hands, and this 380 is tiny. and it's 6+1, so not bad. Single stack 9. I stopped carrying this one because it has a safety. Striker fired with a safety, and I don't like safeties. And I went to the car, so my regular everyday carry is the car CM9. I used to use this 38 as a what do you call it? As a home defense gun. It's a 38 special. This is a classic Sturm Ruger Speed 6 with a set of Packmeyer grips on it, and I used to use it with the special fragmenting ammunition. And I decided to go instead to a F&H FMP9, and this is the light I got at Tulsa actually, with 17+1, because I thought, even though it's a 9, and this guy, this 38 special hits a little harder. The round count was what bought me on this one. So that's basically what I have for all this junk.
Psycho Camp, that looks like you went from the 20th century to the 21st century.
Very much so.
Well, this is these two. Yeah, so these two guys are kind of out of the running because I really shoot this one well. This is a great little gun to shoot, but because it has a safety on it, it's striker fired, and I won't carry a true single action striker fired gun. I don't like them. So that's just a safety thing with me. So your mileage may vary, but these two guys are kind of out of the running, and these are my three main. These are my three main guns. These 4 guns are the ones that stay in my hot and ready cabinet.
Okay, awesome. No, I got an email from one of our viewers, Ghost Shadow. He's mentioning 45 ACP, showing his 45 ACP. So I'm going to screen share that in a second. So let me get that out of the way. This is his.
All I gotta say, if you're gonna stash stuff, you have to stash real guns.
Wheel guns. Okay. All right. So this is Ghost Shadow's 45, and that's pretty snazzy. I like that. And then he was also talking about calibers. Different calibers in the types of 45 he uses. He says all 230 grain, 200 grain hollow point, the far left. I guess that one. Far right is a 260 grain 45 Winchester mag. Yeah, those do work, but not in 1911s. I wouldn't put that in the 1911. And the 45 Win Mag is capable of killing an Alaska brown bear and moose. Well, if I need to kill moose and squirrel, you're the person I'll talk to.
I would draw the lines on the moose though. Moose are you'd have to be pretty close to that moose and that bear to kill it with a 45 Win Mag.
They are a rare breed, I'll give you that. But
moose take quite a bit to. I mean, even if you look at shot placement, yeah, pistol hunting and is different, but 45 Win Mag is for grizzly, and I don't know, man. There's better revolver cartridges to carry and better guns to. But I mean, if you're running around in the woods with a large grizzly, I mean, why not use a grizzly on a grizzly, right?
Right.
That's a good point.
But I think it's ridiculous to say that you need to carry something like, 50 AE. You don't need to carry that. You can take that to the range, but by no means do you need to can you conceal carry 50 AE, because it's not possible.
Oh, didn't Yankee do a video on that?
I think Yankee probably did do a video on that, but that's him. That's him open carrying the Desert Eagle out and about.
Okay.
I mean, that's not necessarily concealed carrying.
Yeah.
But
when I open carry, I open carry a full size 1911. No school like the old school.
Yeah. So I'm going to address this because somebody might along the way say, well, Night Strike, you're doing 45. 5 is old, it's slow, it's heavy. Yeah,
it works.
It's old, it's slow, and it's heavy, but that does not mean that anyone is faster than a speeding bullet. I'm sorry. Unless you're Superman, it's still going to hit what it's pointed at.
And there are sometimes the slow and fat still get it done.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If I wanted to, I could upgrade my 1911 to 45 Super and just use 45 Super and almost have the same effect as 10 millimeter would.
Yeah, I mean, with modern brass and powders today, you can launch a 230 grain projectile out of a 45 ACP at pretty close to what 10 millimeter, if not better than a standard Tilament 10 millimeter. So, but no, I mean, the argument with 45 ACP is, look, you're trying to compete against something that's a 7 out of 10 on everything. Okay, it's knockdown, it's suppressive power. I mean, everything is its penetration. Everything is a 7 out of 10 for a 45 ACP. If you want better penetration, go to a 40 or a 10 millimeter. If you want more capacity, go to a 9 millimeter. So the argument's moot. It's carry what you want to carry, because you're looking at slow. Oh, it's slow and it's dumb and it's old. It's like, look at the 4570. That is still considered a dangerous game cartridge for a reason, because it's heavy and it's slow.
Okay, I got to address something out there on the YouTube side. Jumpy Killer is saying I can dodge a 45 ACP in 30 yards. I'm going to call bullshit, because the Japanese couldn't do it.
Please don't do it.
The Germans couldn't do it. The North Koreans couldn't do it.
The Filipinos couldn't do it.
The Vietnamese couldn't do it.
We don't want a 10 millimeter YouTube challenge. Okay, we really don't want that. It didn't work out for that one guy with the 50 cal in the phone books.
Shoot me, honey. I'll be fine.
Yeah, let Jumpy. Come on, man.
He would have been okay if they would have grabbed like a Chinese phone book. Instead, he, you know.
Well, you know, you got 10 times the
population. We're not going to make that joke, Jelsma. We're not making that joke.
Okay, we're not making that joke. It didn't get made.
Well, to be honest with you, I prefer not to use those kinds of arguments where I prefer to use science. And since a 45 caliber travels, we'll just round it off to 1,000 feet per second. And in 30 yards, you have 90 of those. So in 90 thousandths of a second, you would have to move. And since human reaction time is about 1/4 to 1/3 of a second, strongly doubt it. Just from the data. I'm a data-driven kind of guy.
No, so am I. But I also go by historical facts. And, you know, historically speaking, people shot at by 45s usually get holes in them. Just saying. You know, you can't dodge a 45 unless you're Superman. And Superman is fiction. So, I'm sorry, Jumpy, but...
Wait. You're telling me superheroes don't exist? Dude, I am so out of here.
Santa Claus.
I think he just broke Matt's heart.
Santa Claus isn't real either, huh? Is that what about the Easter Bunny? You wanna rain on my parade now, bro?
I have seen a leprechaun, though.
Hold on, let me Of course the Easter Bunny is real. We all know, otherwise we wouldn't have April.
Exactly.
Well, you know, the British government shut down 38 caliber pistols for so long to keep the 455 Webley forever. So, I mean, 45 caliber it's effective at what it does, especially in a pistol.
But you also know in World War II, when the British were using 45 Webley, they were using a 455 Webley. They still converted some of their 455 Webley revolvers to use 45.
Yeah.
And some of those conversions even happened after, you know, when they came over to the United States. They shaved the cylinder down so you can fit 45. Granted, you want to use old school 45 or low power 45, not new commercial ammo. But
no, plus P plus only.
But you know, I would not fire new commercial 45 out of a weapon. Just saying.
Okay, so how do we feel about hollow points as completely and utterly useless as defensive ammo?
Hollow point, I'm talking strictly calibers. I'm not talking types of rounds. Okay, that's different. Okay, but quite honestly, this is my opinion, of course. While yes, if you want to have a hole in something and you just want that hole to be there and you want that bullet to stick, I'm gonna say you go hollow point.
Nope.
But if this is my opinion, of course. But
see, hollow points are only good in high velocity stuff like 9mm, where it makes up for its lack in diameter. With a 45 ACP, if you're carrying ball ammo, you're fine. If you're carrying hollow points, it's kind of pointless. I think you should just carry ball ammo in your 45. I'm being serious. 45.
Okay, so Gentleman, I got a question for you then, and I'm not totally sold.
Remember, with 45 ball, you have the whole tumbling effect.
Yeah, I'm not totally. I mean, I'm not sold on the whole gelatin test thing, but does 45 ball ammo make a good wound channel? I mean, does it really disperse the energy through the tissue so it just tears it up once it enters, or not?
I'm more worried about penetration than I am creating a large wound channel. You're going to have a displacement of energy from a large diameter bullet. Okay, it's going, because it is larger in diameter, it displaces less energy over a small space, right? Because high pressure is small, and okay, so with a 45, you're making the same size hole basically as a 9mm that mushrooms really well.
And I really didn't want to get into this topic, but we're into it, so.
Well, you could save it for another day.
Yeah,
we could jump onto another day.
This is another hour at least.
You know, yeah, quite literally, because I do have two other topics I want to get to, and then if we have any time left, we can come back to this if you want. But I think we pretty much killed it out of the water with the whole CCW calibers. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, I think we're good on 380 and up.
Yeah, guys, if you got any more comments, if you got any more, any more ideas, suggestions, for chats or future chats, remember, you can always email me. I always check the email. So I'd love to hear from y'all. I am trying to read the YouTube as well, but you guys are going pretty fast tonight. So I got to give you guys credit. You have a lot to say. But we're going to move on. So, speaking of 45, guess what? 8,000 Army 1911s have been sent and are on their way to the civilian marksmanship program. They have been authorized. I don't know if the CMP has got them yet, but they are being shipped over as far as we know from the Army. So whenever they get there, the CMP will let us know.
60 days minimum. I got the same letter.
Yeah.
And apparently they thought they were going to get them quicker, but the government changed their storage requirements, and CMP had to come up with a more secure facility to store them in. Now, these are the guys that processed literally thousands and thousands of battle rifles and other things, and yet they're being told they don't have the facilities to store these handguns. Wow. Amazing.
I think it's just the problem with our government right now, and most presidents usually get this taken care of within like the first couple months, but we still got a lot of leftovers from the Obama administration. So we still have a couple people who aren't necessarily with the Second Amendment trying to literally pull teeth to get their way from getting things moving, so to speak. At least that's my opinion. So That's probably why it's taken so long, because somebody's trying to drag their ass the most amount of time that they can get, just so, they can screw over America.
They mentioning a retail price on those at all?
No, not yet.
Or anything like that? Okay.
Not yet, but they're, the completion.
They won't be cheap.
They won't be cheap. I'm expecting them to be like $900 minimum. Because, currently, if you go to a gun show, a used 1911 that was used in World War II and was taken out before it was CMP'd or anything is usually anywhere on the low end is $900. On the high end, it's over $1,000 at least. I mean, Cycle Camp. How much were the the original Army issue 1911s at Wanamaker last time you went?
Oh, I have no idea. I wasn't really looking, but they were not cheap. I would say around $1,000 was not unusual.
Okay, so
because they had provenance.
They had provenance.
Remington Rands from the mid to late 40s, end of World War II era, are going as high as $2,000 right now.
Right.
But these won't be anywhere that nice.
Yeah, these are going to be the used and abused leftovers.
Oh yeah, the CMP stuff is going to be clapped out, man. It's cool that they're coming back, but in a sense, unless if somebody really wants a collectible, I mean, just kind of bite the bullet and go get a Turkish-made one or a Filipino-made one. I mean, your quality is going to be better just because they're not going to be beat up and ran in sand and mud and dirt and stored for 50 years. So,
hey, Night Strike, we've got a comment on the YouTube side from our Aussie viewer. We see Vandalistic Vlogs a lot on Caliber Corner on Saturday mornings. So shout out to the land of Oz. He says he was going to check how to comment on how to contact someone regarding the CMP, but then realized he's in Australia where self-defense consists of calling the cops. So shout out to the international viewers. We've got Australia represented, and we've got Finland represented. Here a while back, we had somebody comment from Finland too. So
where self-defense consists of calling the cops and then taking a beating from a blunt object or getting stabbed.
Well, if you're in Finland, you just throw snowballs at them.
Well, I don't know if the person out there from Finland is Mika.
No, it was Jan or Yanni. I know I'm going to murder the name, so I apologize.
All right. Well, it's good to hear from you guys. If you guys have any questions or comments or just want to send us a message, please feel free to send us an email at nightstrike1@gmail.com. That's NIGHTSTRYKE, the number 1 @gmail.com, and we'll go over it. So, all right. So we went over the 1911s. They're coming. We don't know how many. We don't know the prices yet, but
hooray!
And the process is just terribly arduous. It's just people that are already registered with the CMP and like me, and have already purchased can't even use that. I would have to submit brand new paperwork, like from scratch, like I was nobody.
Well, that's why my first handgun I bought was, granted, it's not an original, but I got a 1911 A1 copy. I mean, I didn't care what brand it was, just that it was a 1911. Because remember, once the government submits a gun that it's using as its issued firearm, it's not specifically set or copyrighted by a company anymore. The government owns the copyright on that then. They have many of different manufacturers. So, granted, people have known that Colt is synonymous with the 1911, and I'll give you that one because they made them the longest. It's true, but they're not the only company. And even though the company I bought mine from is the same company that gets them from, the company that makes them for Rock Island, that doesn't mean it's not any less of a 1911. It's still a 1911.
What 1911 do you have, Night Strike?
I've got the ATI 1911.
Okay, the full GI model.
The FX45 military.
Is that made in? Is it a Turkish one or a Filipino one?
It's the Filipino one.
Oh, okay.
All the Rock Island Armory are Filipino ones too.
Right. Mine, I have a A1 that's Turkish made, a Regent. It's a T-sauce. It's a sweet little gun, man. I would 100% trust that thing to protect me and my family. So, great little gun.
Yeah. So, I have no problems with it. I'm enjoying my 1911. So there's nothing wrong with the ATIs as far as, if you're going to get the 45 military model. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I would even hazard a guess to say that even the one where the finish they do on the ones that are the battle worn finish. If you want something like that, even go for it, because they're not bad guns. They are not.
No, they're actually kind of neat, man. the finish and everything on them is actually pretty cool if you've seen one firsthand.
So there is that there, but so we're done talking about 1911s and geeking out on that. So let's talk about something unhappy.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump out real quick. I have to run. I will catch the rest of this later. Thanks for having me, Night Strike.
Okay, no problem. We'll see you later, Sandhills.
See you later, man. Take care.
Night.
All right, so we're going to talk about my most favorite place in the United States. And when I say that with as much sarcasm as I can. We're going to talk about California.
Yay.
Because I love talking about California. Can you hear it in my voice?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so thrilled.
It's because you love almonds.
Now, I don't know if anyone knows if this is an actual thing or not, but apparently Elon Musk, the maker of Tesla Motors, the owner and SpaceX, has come up with a flamethrower. Does anybody know anything about this?
Yeah, I've seen that before. It almost looks like a blowtorch with like the little tank that you put up on the top of it, and is it really a flamethrower though, or is it just a flared out blowtorch that just allows a different kind of flame pattern? I mean, I don't think it necessarily shoots out more than a couple feet, does it?
Well, I want to know if it's battery powered.
I want to know if it's real or not, or if this is just a giant joke from Elon Musk.
I thought they showed him off at CES 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
How ridiculous California gun laws are. But the thing is, apparently, the fun police are out in force in California because they're deciding to try and move to outlaw the flamethrower before it's even released. Even though it's got pre-orders of more than 10,000 for it. Because apparently I'm already pre-orders for it. But apparently the device is $500, which is not bad for an entry-level flamethrower.
I haven't really been shopping for one lately, so I really can't tell you, but I'm sure that's a good price.
Because the other handheld flamethrowers I've seen, are usually between $7 and $9, of that other company that makes them. So,
all right, I got it pulled up right here, Night Strike. I can't screen share because I'm on mobile, but it's called the X15 flamethrower. It starts at around $1,600 and has a range of 50 feet. He started selling them in 2015. So yeah, that's in it. I mean, it looks like the AR of flamethrowers.
I mean,
it's pretty sweet.
I don't know if this is real or if this is a joke, but either way, the apparently California Assemblyman Miguel Santiago is a Los Angeles Democrat, and he is trying his damnedest to make sure that before it even gets released, that it's banned. Because, well, 1, he's Democrat. 2, it's Los Angeles. And 3, California state senators or representatives don't want you to own guns. Though I really hope some other country one day gets ballsy enough to invade the United States. And I really, really hope they invade California first and take all those motherfuckers out. And when I say motherfuckers, I mean the politicians that love to take stuff away from the American people, whereas they have armed security guards.
Yep.
Oh, here it is. Boring Company. That's the company that makes them. They're called Boring Co. All the ones that are shipped for $500.
I think so far. There's 20,000 available, and they've got 15,000 that have already sold. And Elon Musk has already netted $7.5 million in sales. Yeah, I mean, they shoot flames out to 3 feet, which, I suppose it would work, but,
It's great if you're going up against a Zamboni.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh, yeah, I see where it says that on the pre-sale versions have range less than 10 feet. So no permits are needed. Oh.
Probably because it's just sold as a blowtorch, which you can go buy at any hardware store. Yeah.
Which means it's not a destructive device, and the ATF has absolutely nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He should start building ARs.
But they're trying to ban it anyways because, well, the fun police don't want you to have anything fun in California.
That's the truth.
So, it was a nice gesture, Elon, but you may not be able to sell them anyways. Oh, well. Poor California.
Is it a hit or miss? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
No, it's not even on the scale for hit or miss. That's how bad it is. But I digress. So moving on. Do we have any other topics to talk about tonight?
I tried the California sucks.
Food chat. I tried the Nacho Bell Supreme fries tonight. Those were pretty good. Or the Nacho Supreme fries. They were good. They were good.
You tried.
I enjoyed
them.
Yeah,
we didn't like them.
Did you try the regular, the normal?
I was supposed to get the Bell Grandes. I got the Supremes accidentally, and then I did get the fries by themselves with the cheese. So they're good. They're good. I wish I could have got them like right when they first came out, but it was about a 40-minute trip home. So yeah.
And I just have to say, all I can say is that probably the Taco Bell Cycle Camp really sucks.
Well, my brother-in-law today also had them, and he said they suck too. So it must be endemic. Must be endemic to the region.
They're really rich tasting. I mean, if you're up for sour cream and cheese, and you want the little bit of salt going on, yeah, I mean they're good. They kind of taste like almost like a beef and potato burrito.
I think they're not making them right here. I don't think, to be honest with you, I think they're frying them in oil that's not hot enough because they're not crunchy. They're not crisp on the outside.
Yeah.
They're kind of limp.
Yeah, they're
and if you don't eat them right away, they're
probably microwaving them.
Yeah.
Well, that could be, yeah.
Well, they do fry shells there. I'm sure they've got some fryers going on because they make their chips there too.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're good. I think they're worth trying. I tried them with some actual like Mexican hot sauce on them, and it didn't do anything good for them. They'd be better off with the Taco Bell hot sauce instead because the flavors you're so used to that. But no, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right. Well, if you like them, Travis, that's good.
Yeah.
I like them, so there we go.
But I'm just putting everybody on notice. I am unsubbing from any other channels that put up I ate those goddamn French fries 3-minute video. So I put up with it now for a couple of days. Any more of you guys do that?
You gotta watch mine, dude. I did mine live. I actually fed some to my cat and dog. I mean, I actually used ammo boxes as a dining surface. God knows how much.
Dude, you're gonna get a call from the AP or ASPCA now that you said that.
Yeah.
Well, there's about a dozen videos of me the cat sitting right next to me, and nobody said anything yet, so I think I'm gonna be okay. So,
right after that,
but it's not Taco Bell fries, though, man.
Yeah, she eats good. She eats healthy all the time. Once in a while, she can have a little snack. Just once in a while, give the kitty a snack. Same with the dog too. You don't give him too much table food, so it's all good.
Poor cat.
Yeah. Oh God, she doesn't do Nah, she doesn't really. She's not really into human food that much. Although she was digging on that Nacho Bell cheese or the Taco Bell cheese. She was going crazy on that stuff.
Don't let her get anywhere near pizza. I'm telling you for your own good.
Nah, she doesn't do pizza. No.
My cat wasn't into pizza before either. And then he got a taste of Canadian bacon, actual bacon, and pineapple pizza. And now whenever we bring that stuff home for one of my family members, he won't shut up, and he will try and get at it before the person does. So
that's awesome.
I don't know, man. I had a Chihuahua that was like 23 years old before we finally decided to put her down, and because she was just so frail and fragile. But we fed her nothing but table scraps, so that's the reason why she probably lived so long. Was Canadian bacon, and pineapple pizza.
There you go. That could be it, man. That could be it.
Yep. So there's that. All right. Anything else?
Oh, Patriot in the Dark's got a food question. Somebody gave me a huge 10-pound bag of sweet potatoes today. Any good ideas for them? Chips, fries, weight, potato gun. Patriot, what I like to do is just microwave them until they get a little bit soft. Like you got to figure it out based on your microwave, and then just take them out of the skin and put a little butter and some brown sugar on them. Or you can slice them and just fry them in corn oil and just make some French fries out of them. Or you could probably do some kind of a batter on them and bake them also.
If you like sweet stuff, go find a recipe for sweet potato mallow.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I get asked to make that every Thanksgiving.
Is that the casserole with the sweet potato, mashed sweet potato? Yeah. Yep. That's a popular Thanksgiving one too. Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could do with sweet potatoes.
Oh yeah, potato gun was another. He said potato gun. That's always an option. But
they're kind of stiff though.
My friends had one of those potato guns in high school where you use the PVC pipe and the hairspray, and they had a potato in the end of it, and they're about 15 feet away from the back of his pickup, and they pushed the button. They weren't paying attention. They shot it. Potato hit the back of the tailgate and actually dented the tailgate. Like it actually screwed up. Like, bonk. It looked like somebody hit it with a softball really hard.
It's just like
yeah, seriously, I was like, oh, that was scary. Yeah. Remember the good old days where you could play with those things and not get arrested? Huh, jeez.
Yeah,
I miss that.
Hold on.
Or when you destroy somebody's property and you don't go to jail, you just got to wash their car or mow their lawn for a week or something,
Yes, you pay for the window. And
those were the days.
Now you got to go to juvie and all that crap. It's just ridiculous. I'm telling you.
Well, you ain't going to juvie now.
Overrated.
But yeah, it's gotten ridiculous these days.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what about you, Psycho Camp? Anything to say? Any words of wisdom?
No, there's been so much garbage going on. I forgot I was going to tune into the State of the Union address tonight, and I totally forgot about it.
Oh. Yeah.
I'll watch it tomorrow on YouTube.
Is it already over? Or is it going on right now?
Well, it started at 9, I think. So it's probably, I would expect it's probably wrapping up.
It's probably over.
It's been over an hour.
Yeah.
And James H. there on the YouTube side says, anything dipped in nacho cheese can't be that bad.
Oh, this is true.
This is true. Nacho cheese can mask an awful lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, not seafood, though.
Not seafood. You're right. Not seafood.
Yeah. We definitely went to a high-end restaurant, and the waiter was like, "Oh, well, you want to try our seafood nachos?" And I heard nachos, and I was like, "Yeah." And it came out, and it was like crawfish and baby shrimp and stuff, and I was just like, "Well, I guess I'm scraping all the seafood to the side and eating the rest of the nachos."
It sounds more like a taco.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
it was like this was a topping on the nachos, like a Bel Grande thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But it was like the regular nacho cheese. It would have been fine if they used like just regular shredded cheese, but it was like the canned nacho cheese. Yeah, no, it's just not.
And guys, Midnight Range PM just he went and struck us with the food chat. I'm sorry. So
he did.
He did.
Where's he? Is he on the gun channel side?
No, he's not. But Jumpy Killer out there saying Glock 21 versus the HK USP. Not tonight.
HK.
Not tonight.
HK.
Not
every
tonight.
day.
HK. If it's
HK.
good enough for special
That's not.
forces,
That's not
good
even
enough.
a question though. Like HK.
Well, I
Done.
don't know.
That
I mean,
one's
our
already
state
done.
patrol carries our state patrol carries Glock 21s. So
I mean,
That's because they're broke.
no, they're not. No, they do fine. They carry them because they work. You know,
Is that the 40 or 45?
in 45.
That's a 45? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the Glock numbers. I'm not a Glock person.
Calaveras 32 Special says hashtag resist the Travi. Yes, you must resist.
You can't resist us. You know you've
And
watched
remember-
videos.
Remember, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
There we go.
Ghost Shadow said he broke 2 Glocks.
All
Well, you could break
right.
a Glock if you try hard enough.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Throw it out the window. I could run it over with my car. It'd probably crack. You know?
I hear you can try to get them to fire when you hit them with a hammer. So
Yeah,
I think
you
anything
know,
will go off.
don't do it at home. Don't do it at home. But
yeah, you know, James has you know, he's saying Glock, the best tech the 80s has to offer. Yeah, I think the 1980s called. They want their Glocks back
yeah, with their mullets.
and their stashes.
Yeah, but we're keeping the thrash metal though.
We're keeping that. No, yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. I think we've gone long enough. So thank you all for listening out there on the YouTube side. On the Gun Channel side, thank you for bearing with us. I know it was a grueling journey or discussion, but thank you for sticking with us as long as you did. I appreciate it. So I want to thank my panel for showing up. Those of you that stayed. Other than that, I think we've pretty much gone full circle. So I'm calling it. Thank you all for listening. This was Hit or Miss.
Bye, please.